All right, today we're going to dig into something fascinating, the hidden legal battles that AI is sparking. We're looking at the ideas from Ryan Abbott's book, The Reasonable Robot. And what's wild is that our laws, which were, written for humans, are creating this totally uneven, kind of strange playing field when it comes to machines.
So let's just dive right in, because this all starts with a huge paradox happening on our roads right now. Get this. Human error is the culprit behind a staggering 94% of all car crashes. We're talking more than 1 million deaths worldwide every single year. But at the same time, autonomous vehicles, or AVs, might already be the safer bet.
So that begs a massive question, right? If one driver, the AI, is statistically safer, why on earth does our legal system make it harder, more expensive, and way more legally risky for that safer car to even be on the road? It just doesn't make sense.
And hey, this isn't just about cars. This legal glitch, if you want to call it that, it pops up everywhere. Take tax law. Companies can actually get incentives to buy a robot just for the tax break, even if a person could do the job better. And when it comes to innovation, our patent laws, well, they just weren't built for machines that can actually invent stuff, which, you guessed it, ends up holding back progress for all of us.
So, what do we do about this? Well, author Ryan Abbott puts forward a really simple but incredibly powerful idea to level this playing field once and for all.
He calls it AI legal neutrality. And the idea is pretty straightforward. The law should treat the action the exact same way, no matter if it was a person or an AI that did it. It's all about focusing on what happened, not who or what did. And the whole point here isn't just about being fair to robots. Not at all. It's about getting better results for us, for people. We're talking more safety, more life-saving inventions, a more efficient economy. This principle is really just a tool to make our laws finally catch up and work better for society.
Now, let's be super clear about something. This has nothing to do with giving an AI the right to vote or, giving it moral rights. It's just a practical tool. Think about it. We already treat corporations as legal persons so they can own stuff and sign contracts. It just makes business work. This is basically the same idea, just updated for the age of AI.
Okay, so let's see how this idea actually holds up in the real world. Let's put it to the test with that problem we started with, the self-driving car.
So the way things are right now, if a person causes a crash, the law basically asks, were they being negligent? Did they act unreasonably? Pretty simple. But if an AI causes the exact same accident, it gets treated like a defective toaster. It falls under this much tougher legal standard called strict product liability.
And just think about what that means. With strict liability, the car maker can be on the hook for damages even if they did everything perfectly. If the product causes harm, boom, they're liable. So this higher legal bar makes it way more expensive and risky to put these safer AI cars on the road, which, crazily enough, actually discourages safety.
But if we apply AI legal neutrality, bam, the playing field is leveled. Now, both human drivers and AI drivers are judged by the exact same standard, negligence. We just ask one simple question: was the action unreasonable? And that means we can finally just pick whichever option is actually objectively the safest.
And this is where it gets really interesting, like a total game changer. Once these autonomous cars are proven to be consistently safer, they become the new baseline. They set the new standard for what's reasonable. A human driver could actually be found negligent for an accident that a reasonable robot would have easily avoided. The safety bar gets raised for everybody.
All right, let's switch gears. Let's look at another place where our laws are totally stuck in the past, the world of invention and intellectual property.
Now, this next question might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but believe me, it is a very, very real problem that companies are wrestling with right now.
And this is not some new thing. For decades, AI has been evolving. It started with simple creativity, like making music back in the 90s, but now it's capable of genuine invention. I mean, by 2019, you had projects filing patents where the AI was listed as the one and only inventor, creating things completely on its own with zero human help.
So here's the roadblock. The law just wasn't written for this. Patent offices all over the world demand that an inventor be a natural person, a human being. So what happens to an invention made completely by an AI? Well, it falls into this legal black hole. There's no way to protect it.
And that, right there, is a massive problem. Because there's no legal way to protect these AI-generated inventions, we're actually pushing back against the very innovation our patent system was built to encourage.
Companies might not even bother developing these amazing tools. Or worse, they'll just hide the breakthroughs as trade secrets. And that slows down progress for all of us.
Which brings us to, I think, the biggest takeaway here. Leveling the legal playing field? That's just step one. The real transformation happens when AI becomes the new benchmark for performance.
And the stakes couldn't be higher. I mean, just look at the numbers. If we create a legally neutral system that encourages self-driving cars, we could save an estimated 30,000 lives every single year in the US alone. That's the real-world impact of just letting the best performer, whether it's human or machine, set the standard.
So this whole reasonable robot idea in accident law, it's really a template for the future. In patent law, the standard is a person having ordinary skill. Well, pretty soon, that person could be an AI. That raises the bar for what we even call an invention. In one field after another, AI is becoming the new gold standard for competence.
Which leaves us with one last, kind of provocative thought to chew on. As the things we create start to define what's reasonable, what's skilled, and what's safe, it forces us to ask a really profound question about what comes next. What's the role for human effort, for our ingenuity, and maybe even for our imperfections, in a world where the benchmark is no longer human?